Alright, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. So, this video is going to be about a little bit of everything, mainly about the mass shooting. I made a video the other day though, a couple of days ago. I have it on private mode right now. I don't know if I'm going to post it before this video or after this video. I made it 3 different times, so it took me a couple, I played with it for 3 different times. I was interrupted the first time with a phone call. Another 2, finally the last one was okay. And I'm going to rewatch it before I post it, make sure that that's the one I want, but basically I just went into the definitions of a few words. I screamed at Redbone, told him to make a couple videos about it because I know he's book smart versus me. I'm stupid. I can do math, but I don't like looking up definitions. Hell, I could barely read what I wrote down. So, anyway, I think I'm going to post that after. I think it's a good video. I think it's shouldn't get censored. It probably will. Everything gets censored. But, shouldn't be a problem on YouTube, and hopefully, yeah, it helps. So, you go in any comment section right now, any news section about the mass shootings that's happened. Apparently there was another one the other day. I didn't see anything. I only seen one article saying there was some guy that apparently shot up some store, I think in Georgia again. They will send them around. Of course they will. Some people are not believing that was real. I wasn't there, so I don't know how that is, but based on the comment sections of like CBS and like USA Today, stuff like that, I would say 60% of the comments that I seen was asking that question: "What is that real? You know, was that shooting real, or they was on the thing of you're not gonna take my guns?" I think slowly and surely people are seeing it. Not all of them. Some people are completely brainwashed and apparently want to live in North Korea, which is fine. You should move there. I told a guy the other day, I said, the only reason people were not leaving America, and the only people, like when Trump won the first time, they, in 2016, people, a lot of Hollywood, we're going to move. They never moved. You know why? Because they have the freedom of speech here. That's why they don't move. But, of course, they're going to, tack on more gun control. And if we was actually free, if we actually knew, if everyone actually knew how the government's supposed to work and what we're supposed to do, and that's why I made that video about the definition. So I'll probably post this video, then 12 or so hours later I post the other one. That's what I probably do. That's why I went over that, is because I was explaining to a guy on the comment section, he didn't understand anything. Which, I kind of quit doing the comment stuff. I used to be really hard on I was doing 4 or 5 debates a week. I mean, just going heavy on it. I mean, literally, every time I would stop what I'm doing and just comment and try to troll the piss out of people and piss them off and try to get their reaction. But I quit doing that because I got blocked so many times. I knew that I wasn't helping anyone. I knew I wasn't educating. And I said this before, you can scream into their face and they wouldn't know. But there's a few times you see a couple comments, you just have to say something, or you have to at least ask a question. So that's how I think me and that guy, I asked a question, and we went back and forth, but had to educate him a little bit. It's funny when you have to educate them, and they claim to live in America. They claim to be, oh, I'm want freedom. And I have people tell me, oh, I have guns, but we need this gun law, this common sense gun law. It's funny. It's sad, but it's funny. But if we really knew, if people actually really woke up and really seen the freedom that we really did have and the power that we really do have, we wouldn't be even talking about gun control. We would be talking about why was no one in that store armed, One person in the comment section said, well, the cop was armed and didn't do anything. I said, well, the cop could have been surprised. The cop could have been undertrained. The cop could have turned the corner and the guy was right there and he didn't have time to do, he might have shot him. We don't know the whole truth yet. If there was someone in there with a gun and they didn't do anything, well, why the hell are you carrying a gun? Like, seriously, But apparently that store is anti-gun, and then says you can't do it. And now, of course, people are blaming the NRA for everything, which You can blame who you want. Of course, don't blame the person, God forbid, unless he's white. Which Kamala Harris, I believe it was Kamala Harris. I will put some pictures at the end of this video. Kamala Harris came out and said, you know, another white person or white supremacy. Then she deleted the tweet a little while later and redid it. Yeah. If it's not white people, you know, it's something else. And then they sweep it under the rug. But Ted Cruz came out. I seen the video last night, actually. And he's talking about passing his gun bill. Now, Ted Cruz, I think, is somewhat not as much brainwashed as other people. I think he's okay. I don't agree with the bill, per se. I mean, I used to think the bill was a good idea years ago when I first heard about it. I think I first heard about it when he was running for president. But it's called Grassley Cruz. And basically, what it does is it forces the government to do their job, which I like that aspect of it. I like the aspect of auditing the government. I don't think the DOJ should do it. I think the people should do it. But it requires them to do it. If they don't do it, they will be in trouble. And he pulled up the Texas shooting and talked about that for a second. I think it was Southern Springs, Texas, where the guy was ex-Air Force and he had a prior conviction. He could not possess a gun, but the Air Force didn't do their job. Now, I seen somewhere, if I can find it, I will link it or screenshot it or whatever, where like it was 5 or 6 days after that shooting, the Air Force submitted like 10,000 files to the ATF or to the DOJ, whoever they have to submit it to. So the ATF wasn't doing their job for at least 10,000 people. Some of those people was in prison or dead. So I will try to find that information if I can. But like I said, I don't agree with the bill, but I think the auditing thing is a huge, huge thing that we need to talk about. Is controlling the government again, telling the government to fuck off, telling the government, no, we're not doing that today, you know. Because Freedom Inc. made a video a couple of days ago, and he's been saying this for a little while. You know, they're gonna come after your single shot 22s. They are. They're gonna come after your duck guns. People don't understand that. People don't comprehend. Oh, that you just don't want to scare your black ones. It doesn't matter because after that, they're gonna keep on going. You know, more people were stabbed to death. Literally, more people, 1,500 people per year are stabbed to death, and then it's only like 350 to 400 people were shot with rifles, and that includes all rifles. And yeah, some of them are mass shootings, but there's more people are killed with knives. They're not banning knives. And the reason why they're not banning knives is because that's not a great tool. If they have their M4s and we have a knife, they can control us. Eventually they will come for the knives too, don't get me wrong. But if we have an AR or AK or big bolt action rifles, hunting rifles and stuff, you know, that's scary to them because then they can't control us or they can't control us that good. So just think about that. But he did slam the one Democrat, I forget his name, who he slammed, who he was mainly talking to. I totally forget his name. I don't like him. I want to say it's Coons. Yeah, I think it was Coons. He was talking to Coons, mainly and him. You know, we have a problem, and the problem was the government doesn't do their job. Well, imagine that. The government never does their job. Now, if we was in the real world and had 100% freedom, like we were supposed to, we would never be discussing this because everyone in there that wanted to have a gun would be able to carry a gun, no matter what the law was in the city or the county or the grocery store. Gun-free zones, I don't know if that was a gun-free zone, but I do know the supermarket was anti-gun. They said no open carry. At the very least, they said no open carry in the store. You know, people don't understand that. And I've been in debates with people, and I've talked to people in person about that. You know, you'd rather be prepared than dead. You know, I said this, I think in the last video that I made, that I'm going to post after this one, is I'd rather carry my gun the rest of my life and never have to use it, because I got a good holster. It doesn't hurt, you know, it doesn't hurt me, right? It's not a nuisance. I'd rather carry it every day and never have to need it and just have it just in case, than be bleeding out on the floor, wishing damn, I should have had my gun. You know, that's just, it's just the way that I think. I'd rather be alive, never carrying it, never having to need it, than dead wishing I had it. That's just my point of view. And I explain that to people multiple times, and there's people that, well, that my one Instagram that I had before it was deleted, I had my little tag there, saying that I was a black belt, and they said, well, you're a black belt, you don't need a gun. If I'm in the milk section, way down in the grocery store, and you guys are in the fruit section, and that's where the mass shooting happens, I'm not going to be able to kick or punch from that far away. Could be a mass stabbing too. The closer I get, I can assess the situation, but I can shoot from farther away than I can kick. And that's just the reality of it. And I might not be able to shoot. I might have to get really close, but I could shoot for 20 feet away and drop the person with one shot. And that's happened before. That's happened with that one church shooting. Happened, what, a year ago? Was it 2019 when that happened? Where all those guys with the guns came out. And that one guy shot one time and dropped him. Probably he's about 20 feet. I'd rather be prepared than dead. I think you guys seen the state senate, I believe it was the state senate fake crying. They don't give a fuck about us. And I'm not, let's pretend that mass shooting was 100% real. I have my doubts, of course, and you always have to be skeptical of everything. But them politicians don't know who that was. If there's a politician there that their mother was involved in it or something like that, they don't give a rat's ass. We're nothing to them. We are slaves that pay their salary. And their crying bullshit that they do is ridiculous. Now, that being said, if there's a bunch of little kids getting killed, was it Sandy Hook? I could see crying for that. If you had kids, especially if you had young kids the same age, or if you had family members went to that school or something, or you was around that area, I could see maybe you crying or needing a moment to yourself. I could see that. But crying on the TV, that's bullshit. That was fake. 100% fake. They probably had smelled onions before they went in there, did something to their eyes, put eye drops in to pretend they was crying. That's bullshit. We know that. And it was all the Democrats. But the gun control is going to keep on going. We're going to continue to go down the road of slavery. I think some people are waking up. There's a buddy of mine, I'm not going to say his name or anything. He's used to be a hardcore Trump supporter, and lately he's been backing off that. I think he's slowly seeing what's going on. I've been trying to educate him, sending him videos of Freedom Inc. and other channels that I find, and saying you might not 100% agree with it, but you need to watch it. We talk about it. So you have a friend that's a hardcore Trump supporter or even a hardcore Biden supporter. It doesn't matter. You need to say, here's the truth. What do you want? Give them the 100% of the truth. Freedom Inc. says this all the time, is always default back to freedom. So no matter what happens, no matter if you get hurt, involved in the situation, always go back to freedom. And my thing is 100% freedom. And it's going to be sad because a lot of the people that are in the Republican Party, when the law is passed, will comply with the gun control. A lot of them will. And that's the problem. And I know damn well the ATF has all our information, and they are seeing who complies the most. And that's, in my personal opinion, why they came out with the tickets and for the face coverings. Can we even say the N word anymore? I don't think we can say that. It's to see who would comply and who wouldn't. And they did a state comparison and stuff like that. You know which states would comply and which wouldn't. You know which counties, if you live in a certain, which ones would comply and which wouldn't. You know that. They wanted to make sure. And they passed this gun control. They will know who complies. Everyone that has a fucking blue line on their truck. They know who will comply. It's a scam, is what it is. It's a big scam, and we are too stupid, I think, to as a whole America, we're too stupid to actually see what's going on in front of us. I don't know. Just my thoughts on everything. Mass shootings are bad. No one wants mass shootings. If I'm at a grocery store and a mass shooting happens, I'm gonna do everything I can to stop the mass shooting. And if I can't get there in time and someone else stops it, because where I live in South Carolina, there's a lot of people armed. I mean, more people are getting concealed license, more people are just carrying, don't even give a fuck. Because it's going to happen eventually in your community. It has the potential to. We had a bomb threat at the local Walmart about 3 months ago. And there was a package they found, but it was fake. And they swept that on the rug really quickly. They didn't really say anything. They gave out one statement. The chief of police came out with one statement. That was it. Never heard anything about that again. But you know, I might be the way in the back and I can't get there, but someone else stops them. I can go assist in holding the bad guy down or finishing him off, or I can help with medical. I mean, even if you don't have any medical training, you can still pick up people. You can still hold and help, you know, bleed. I drive a pickup truck. I can back up the truck and put people in the back of the truck, and we can drive down to the hospital. I mean, doesn't matter who you are and what you do, you can still help. I mean, there's people that help all the time. You've seen that in the Vegas shooting. People got in commandeered trucks, basically. They got in trucks and started putting people in the back of trucks. I seen a video the other day about the Vegas shooting. That video was cool. I'm going to repost it. My strike actually goes out on the 27th. I looked it up and seen when my strike, when I can actually be free for a second. So my strike goes out the 27th. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on my second channel. They shouldn't say anything about that video, but you never know. If you have been uploading videos lately on your PC, I don't know about phones because I don't usually do it on my phone, on your laptops, they have a third step now. They usually have 1, 2, 3 step, but now they have they put a middle step in there where it checks for copyrights, and I bet where it checks for certain words where they can censor you more. That's just my opinion. I don't trust YouTube at all, really. Our data's all in there, especially to all the people that on the group chats, and we talk they know who we are, and they are watching us. When I'm making this video, they're probably watching us. NSA is probably listening down. They know. And something's gonna happen eventually. And the majority of the people in America, I don't think, are prepared. And like I said, most Republicans, most diehard Republicans, will comply. They will complain, and they will bitch and moan the whole time, but they will comply. When the assault weapon bans go out, and let's say they grandfather it in, and you have to pay $200 per year, they will comply. No, I'm not. Fuck that. You guys have a great day.